All right, so your company is all about CRISPR technology. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think a lot of our audience has heard of this. We've heard of mRNA technology, we've heard of RNA technology. How does this fit into that landscape of biotech?
So what most people realize is, there's amazing cell and gene therapies coming through in the market at the moment, and they're done and actuated in different ways. CRISPR gene editing is a way in which you can make very precise edits to a patient's DNA. And what that allows you to do is identify new targets, but also to correct some diseases. More importantly, expand the number of treatable diseases. And we're working with our partners. We've built the world's most powerful CRISPR gene editing toolbox. We've underpinned it with AI. The numbers are staggering. It's a perfect test case for AI. We're working with our partners to rapidly identify targets and therapies. And in doing so, working with them, we think, we're going to increase the speed and pace with which new treatments can come to market.
All right, so you recently announced a partnership with AWS. That's the AI that you're talking about. But let's talk about these different treatments. It's for cancer, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, Huntington's disease, a rare disease there. So where will we possibly see this CRISPR technology be effective? What area first? Would it be cancer? Would it be, one of these other areas, multiple sclerosis, diabetes? Where are we going to see the impact first, more than likely?
What tends to happen is cancer tends to be the first area. Dreadful diseases, pediatric diseases, rare cancers, which can't be treated any other way. The FDA is very supportive of new treatments, new technology platforms, and tend to get approvals coming through pretty quickly. There are still so many cancers that can't be treated well. There are still dreadful stories out there. The ability to really understand the cancer at a molecular level and make that change at a molecular level is a game changer. But these need well-developed platforms, powerful actuated tools to make these things happen.
All right. So you mentioned the government, the FDA. There's been some changes there, very obviously. RFK Jr. is now the head of HHS. Also, I've heard some FDA officials talk about speeding up the approval of rare drugs to get them out to market faster. Is that something that's a tailwind for your business?
It absolutely is. The Secretary of Health and Human Services met the heads of FDA, NIH, CMS last week and promised support for the cell and gene therapy space. That's a huge tailwind for us, and even yesterday, the House Appropriations Committee echoed that. So we see some really positive signals in that space.
Jared, I got to ask you about this, tariffs. Obviously, we had some news when it comes to trade yesterday. We've had some other rare drug or rare disease drug makers come on the show and talk about the reliance on China for either supplies or some of the raw materials. That's the word I was looking for.
Exactly.
For raw materials or actually for final production. You manufacture in Massachusetts, not a big manufacturing state, but you manufacture in Massachusetts. How reliant are you on imports and specifically China?
Not particularly. We're U.S. forward, so we make sure that we can make therapies in this space. We're building out in Pittsburgh as well. I was there yesterday, and our team does a lot of work in supporting STEM initiatives in local schools. And I heard a very interesting comment. It said, the guys there said, Pittsburgh is not a town in which manufacturing is a dirty word, and that's really important. You get amazing molecular insights, amazing clinical insights. Manufacturing these drugs well, efficiently, to make sure they're safe and efficacious is key, and that's where we come in.